My heart breaks for the wasted potential of our nation, society, and Eden earth. As much as it rises in awe with every sunrise, utterly in love, with sun on dewdrops, infinite skies, clouds of mystics, rhythms of rain and snowy mountaintops, hopes and possibilities carried in bird songs across the wind. With all the gifts this humble and perfect earth has provided us, we have forsaken reverence and reciprocity within our dynamic relationships of all life and each other. We cling to clouded exterior identities, political parties, hate groups, exclusionary ideologies cloaked under the umbrellas of religion over a moral fabric of being and relating, over systems that honor, practice mutual respect, and embody gratitude. As if roots were not the knowledge of memory binding us, or umbilicals the life force birthing us. In grasping outwardly, we've abandoned internally, forgetting humanity before all else, choosing hate, judgment, and defamation before mature pathways of collaboration, constructing coexistence. A nation of limitless potential instead defined by a bloated ego of imploding immaturity. We have surely failed every test of inheritance under the sun, as emotions, not logic, have burned down and drowned all reasoning and capacity for survival as a sensical species who requires diversity and cohabitation to flourish. What use is any knowledge or science when we lack the coherent ability to choose right action for the benefit of the collective future, when our governing mentality mirrors angry, jealous adolescence? We've done well in proving that intelligence has nothing to do with ethics, nor do degrees or scripted morals assume emotional intelligence, discernment, differentiation, critical thinking, or walking a mile in someone else's shoes. Lacking these elements, supposed intelligence has backfired, causing civilization to regress, not progress. Traditionally, indigenous peoples never made decisions without considering the impacts for the next 7 generations. What civilized called heathenness was wisdom. The seeds in medicine were already known. The voice of colonial capitalism needed to demonize everything they systematically stole. The cycles of pillage and devastation leading us to now. Our white indigenous women, the healers and herbalists, were called witches and burned alive at the stake. But the billion-dollar vitamin and supplement industry will never be labeled demonic. Industrial capitalism requires exploitation and unending extraction to profit and thrive. It's neither sustainable or humane, as it systematically forced you to forget what we already knew and criminalized the individuality of practice, because self-sustaining independence suddenly makes them irrelevant. We end the codependent relationship when we can take care of ourselves, living within our means, especially at the community level. Leadership is not short-sighted greed, but its opposite. Love, in its selfless humility, is the glue of our mosaic existence. It shines through even the darkest voids. America, I mourn you as the mother who never learned to love herself, and the father who never cared enough to ask or be there. I mourn you as the betrayal of an older brother and all the partners whose words were never true. I mourn you in the endless catalog of could-have-beens, a nation of glorified falsity, we the building blocks and stepping stones, where healthy love never met its potential or true identity, in home, family, community, lost lands, forgotten voices, and superficial formalities required to play along and fit into something that was never an authentic belonging. I need not this nation to define my identity, nor should we, even while you are a part of me. You've shown no loyalty, so how can you expect the same? Where I had the privilege of fulfilling dreams and tasting freedom, I was painfully aware at what cost this all came, while thinking globally and acting locally got lost along the way. While I learned to feed and sustain myself, living in rhythm with the seasons rather than inside your expectations, I heard the words, no child left behind, while child slaves worked our minds, parents stolen, leaving invisible children alone to testify. Knowing half the world is starving because of greed, lack of management, and caste systems, not because of scarcity. While knowing children yet to be will never be gifted the opportunity of knowing wilderness, the taste of wild berries in autumn, the smell of cottonwood buds in spring, or the sounds of rivers running free. For who and how am I any different than all of you? I need not your society's titles, status, or acceptance to define my humanity. In fact, I found my humanity suffocated inside your hands. Earth is my home, the human species my race, this heart my own, and only continuity. So for these things, as my very breath and spirit, I will never abandon in loyalty. And earth, she has been my only constant certainty. Love springs eternal, even in heartbreak, and so it is to be alive. Fear for all those no longer able to feel or love, for that is exactly where humanity has been lost. We've become masters of numbing ourselves, rather than facing our reflections and holding compassion for each other. If we cannot even hear ourselves honestly, it's easy to become deaf to the world. And that is our weakness, our Achilles heel, the unbridgeable canyon between us, missing our internal building blocks and stepping stones. To feel is to be human, in all the brokenness and ecstasy. Grief, the smoldering embers under anger's flames. Try as they may, love is the one thing they can never extinguish. They, the loveless, hating most what they cannot feel. Love lives as part of the pain, and grace allows them to dance.